Welcome to Barbster. Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new gaming chat video with James and
Hollie.
And did you guys like that? Hollie's going to be like, what on earth's going on? We got a brand new flipping intro soundtrack.
Oh, the intro.
Hopefully you guys like that.
We've had it for a while. We just haven't had time to actually film a video to use the intro.
We do apologise that it's been a couple weeks, probably about a month since we've done one of these types of videos, but we've been inundated with work, which has been awesome, but it does mean that we haven't done any of these videos. So, without further ado, let's get straight on with today's game chat video. If you don't know what these game chat videos are about, actually,
we babble for half an hour about games.
They're just like a chatty podcast type video where we talk about games, mainly 3 games, and those 3 games this week are going to be
NieR Automata. I can't say it. It's not a difficult word. I don't know if it's NieR Automata or NieR
Onomatopoeia.
Automata. He says NieR Onomatopoeia. So hold on. We can fix this.
It's this game. This game, what we've got up here at the moment.
This cover. NieR Automata, I think is how you say it.
Automata.
It's not a difficult word. It is a simple word, and we can't say it.
Automata. I really can't say that word. How do you guys pronounce it? Comment down below right now.
We're going to be talking about that game and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that we played on the Switch. We actually live streamed it at the weekend, and Prey, which we haven't played.
So we're going to be talking about the 2 games which we have played and 1 game which we haven't played, and just kind of talk about the reviews and sort of stuff, basically what's in the news at the moment. So without further ado, let's start off with this game which we've got on screen at the moment.
The game we can't say.
NieR. We're just going to call it NieR.
So we're not talking about the first NieR. In this case, all it is of NieR will mean this version. But
so if I was to start off with this
your
section,
first impressions of the case.
To be honest, I'd never heard of this game. I hadn't played the first one. It's not my type of game. If I was to pick this up in a game shop, I personally wouldn't really look twice at it. I don't know why. It's just because I've never really played Square Enix type games.
It's just not your type of game.
It's just not my type of game. I'm a bit more kind of Halo and Gears of War and Call of Duty, that
First
type of
person,
game.
give me a gun kind of game.
Exactly. Where I probably wouldn't necessarily pick this up. And after looking at the cover, I'm quite intrigued by it. I do like the name, even though I can't pronounce it. Yeah. I think it's a cool name. It's definitely got the vibe of kind of robotic AI type vibe with the name and the look of it. The art direction of the cover and stuff looks very, very cool, very, very intriguing.
So this game actually came out in March. I think it was in March in England, maybe February in America.
So it's been
Japan.
out for about 2 months
so it's been
or so.
A while. I was trying to. The only reason I didn't buy it on launch is because I have a voucher for a game shop, and I wanted them to get it in stock.
Our local game shop. Support local businesses.
They still didn't have it because everyone is after it, so I just bought it online, which is why I'm a bit late to the party. But I had watched, because I didn't know what it was about. I didn't play the first NieR, so I did watch the first 20 minutes on YouTube.
So that's what intrigued you to actually get this.
And then I watched the first 20 minutes and thought, no, that's my sort of game. I'm not going to watch anymore.
So why don't you explain, without giving anything away, spoilers or anything?
If you don't want to know anything about the game, maybe skip forward a bit. But if you don't mind knowing the brief story, I think it's pretty much explained when you turn the game on.
The back.
I haven't actually read the back, but it's basically the planet is now habited, for want of a better word, by aliens. Not aliens. Robots. Where did aliens come from? The planet is
mechanical beings.
Mechanical beings now are on Earth. Earth has been wiped out of humans. They're now living, I think, in the equivalent to a space station.
Yeah.
So Earth is populated by machines. And so there's these guys, which I'm not very good on the names because we've been live streaming this. I've kind of missed some of the. But basically, so these guys are the good guys that the humans have sent down to try and get Earth back. This is what I understand. We're only a few hours in, so this could change and this could be entirely wrong. But this is how I understand the game. It's these guys. They're called 9S and 2B. They and their crew have been sent to get Earth back from the bad robots, is what I understand, basically, from the storyline.
So it's a very kind of cool storyline, very kind of sci-fi and stuff.
The thing which I found fascinating when you first start playing the game is that you can't save. It doesn't tell you how to save. It says play the game to work out how to save.
Yeah.
Which is a bit like, what?
You got to play the first hour, maybe?
I think it's like maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. It depends, I think. Yeah, and then once you get to a certain point, then you can save. But the interesting thing that we found out is when you die, so because you're a robot, your data gets backed up, but
to the cloud.
To the cloud, your data gets backed up to the cloud, so you don't lose who you are, but you lose all your stuff. So if you die, you lose all your weapons and all your items, and you go back and start again in your little space station, and then you have to get put back down.
So if you want to get all of your stuff back, which you've been collecting, you have to get to your murdered ground where you were murdered, basically.
This makes the game so stressful.
Yeah.
Because I've never not wanted to die in a game so bad.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Normally, it's annoying when you die in a game. You're like, oh, that's a shame, I'll reload. In this game, it's just like...
You now have to go to where you died to reclaim all of your belongings, your weapons, everything you've collected. But you've got to do that before you die again. Otherwise,
yeah, you lose
you
it.
go back to
your
previous body. So it's a cool thing that it keeps you on your edge of your toes. And if you do die, you've got to remember exactly where you died to find where your body is or where your weapons are and stuff. So I think that is a very, very cool thing.
Super, super cool.
And I think for me, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily pick up the game or play the game, but now I've played it
because we live streamed
it. As soon as we started that game, I was like, I need the controller right now. I need to actually play this game. It is so flipping awesome.
Because I'd seen the first few minutes, I almost said to James, like, you can start. Because I knew it was coming, which is kind of a shame. But the very start of the game, it always reminds me of Asteroids. Is it Asteroids? Or I don't know.
Space Invaders.
It's obviously very modern graphics, but it has undertones of very different games, and I think that's what makes this game so interesting. Yeah, I think we need to kind of
go on to what the director of the game actually says. So he's actually got a quote which backs up this point, what we're going to kind of talk about now. So do you want to read?
So it's not the full quote. I kind of just sort of paraphrase. This isn't his actual words, but Yoko Taro, he basically says in a nutshell, looking at AAA titles, of course I find them beautiful, but after 20 minutes of the game, I wonder if the next 20 hours are going to be the same, and I'm a bit tired of this. If possible, I would like to make games that are... Hang on, I can't read my handwriting. If possible, I'd like to make games that are unexpected.
Unexpected games that keep
changing. Unexpected games that keep changing form. This is the mindset I had when I created this game.
So that basically leads on to this point now of the game keeps evolving. It doesn't feel like you're playing the same game than you were 10 minutes ago. So you could be running around in this very open world type game. You would then get to a certain section.
And you'll run up to a set of stairs and
the camera will move out and spin, and you'll be going like left to right. So you'll be playing virtually like a platform game. When things are coming in the screen, you got to jump over. As if you're playing like an old school kind of arcade type game. The very next minute you could be getting into some form of like mech suit and fly off like into space. And then you'll basically be playing like a Space Invader type game when you're flying along the bottom of the screen, shooting things which are coming down.
Or then it's like a top down. There's so many.
So then, it can go top down like a bird's eye view type thing. So
there's so many genres, but that being said, it's not gimmicky. It's not like it's frustrating, and
it's seamless.
It doesn't load.
I was going to say like this bit, for instance, on this game. So I can run around now, and I can spin the camera around, and we can kind of go or do whatever we want to do. But if I was to run back across this bridge now and go across here, look, without doing anything, the camera moves and spins.
And now it's like a...
And now all I can do is go
like a platform
it's like a platform game, left to right. So without really thinking about it, the game is constantly adapting and evolving.
It's just really interesting. You don't get bored of playing the same...
Yeah, which goes back to the quote, which I do understand. When you're playing some of these AAA games, when they're visually pleasing and beautiful, they do get repetitive.
I do understand that, especially playing Final Fantasy 15. Like, I love the game, but you do get to a point where you're like, I'm kind of bored of what I've been doing for the last 60 hours.
Yeah, because it's quite similar. Where
we've lost him now. He's going to.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to put it back to a kind of a screensavery type point right there. But I think it's just a very cool concept, which then makes me makes me want to actually play it, because it does have all these different elements and different styles and stuff. And like, for instance, we were live streaming it last night and you were playing like this boss battle.
Oh, and it took me so long.
And because going back to what you said, you don't want to die, you really are like going, you can't just go, I'll just reload. It's like you probably
could, but that's not the nature of the game. Like, it just completely changed my dynamic of playing, and it is quite stressful. But
playing like that boss battle is very different from playing like this section, which is very different from playing, you know, the section when you're in the desert and it's like very big and open world. It really does pull you around and keeps you...
It's definitely more than I expected, and it's definitely on my favourite game list. Obviously, we're only... Well, I'm only level 10, so we've only played a couple of hours. I don't think it says.
I don't know how many hours you've played.
It has been sat there for a couple of hours like that. So, not very long. Probably 4 hours in, maybe. That includes the running around and just... It's one of those games where you can just run around for hours as well, much to James's dismay. Because that's what I do. So, it's definitely on my top games list right now. One of my favourite games.
I would definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't into this style of gaming, I would try this game out. Because we notice it in our live streams. A lot of people are like, I've never even heard of this game. Or I would never necessarily pick up this game off the shelf in a game shop. But after seeing
But watching you play and how different the levels, I guess, are.
Yeah, the styles and everything. It's made for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like we've rambled, but we like the game. We recommend it. It's in a nutshell.
Let's move on now to the next game which we're going to talk about, which is on the Nintendo Switch.
Yes,
brand new game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which, you know, the clue's in the title. It's Mario Kart.
It's Mario Kart, and it is Mario Kart.
It's exactly what you want out of a Mario Kart game.
Yeah, there's not
fun.
Much more to say apart from it's Mario Kart.
Colourful, it's entertaining, it's frantic, it's frustrating.
Rainbow Road is ridiculous, and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, it's like when we were talking about this earlier today. I basically said it's the perfect game for kind of any occasion and for anyone.
Yeah,
you don't need to be a gamer to play it. You can you can play it with your mum. Yeah, you can play it with like kids. You can play it with anyone, and you always have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we say, it's Mario Kart, and that is probably the biggest, compliment, because it's what you want.
Yeah.
For me, like,
it just takes me back to the old school days of playing Mario Kart.
Yeah, and playing it on the Switch, I didn't find that difficult because you had the little section of the Joy-Con.
The little Joy-Con, so you can have one each. So you can play 2-player.
They're a bit small, but you get used to it really quickly.
Yeah. So there was 3 of us playing it. Me, Hollie, and Mullet were playing it. We were live streaming it the other night on Saturday, and we were just basically doing like winner stays on. Yeah. So there was 3 of us, and we were constantly doing it.
I think Mullet was just staying on.
Mullet won every time, so it was basically switching between me and Hollie. But at the same time, we then played the viewers of the live stream.
That's what I found was super good. Is currently, I think it might be changing, but currently you don't need to pay to play online with Nintendo
on the Switch. Yeah.
On the Switch, yeah. Sorry, you literally just go online, invite your friends,
add a friend.
Done. It was so simple. Like we added people and we're playing them within 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it was so quick and so simple. And
it was cool to be able to do a live stream like that, and because it is.
Some games you spend so long trying to build a game, you're like, oh, I don't want to play it anymore. Whereas that was like, right, you're in, you're done. Like, you're racing. You're against each other. It was, that's...
I think one thing what I liked about it is there was lots of new characters.
There is lots of new characters, but it's still all about Yoshi. Like, you don't need any other characters of Mario and Yoshi. And you can change the colour of Yoshi.
Yeah, you can change the colour of Yoshi, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different customised sections with the vehicle you're driving,
and the parachutes, and the wheels, and stuff. But all about colour change of
Yoshi. Just about Yoshi.
It's just about Yoshi, and you can make him green. No, he is green, but you can make him pink, and you can make him blue.
So I think overall it's just a super fun game. It's exactly what I would want to get out of Mario Kart. You could play it for 5 minutes, you could play it for 5 hours.
We did play it for 3 hours and our eyes hurt.
Yeah.
So you probably can't play much longer than 3 hours.
But a super fun game. Again, I think it's a very good game. What the Switch now has is another reason to buy the Switch.
Yeah.
Is because of that game, and the more games like that which come out on the Switch, I think it's just going to back the Switch up even more and more.
I think so,
they have these very, very strong games, and being Nintendo, of course, they're going to be pushing Mario, and they obviously kept it back for a couple of months to have that kind of Zelda stage of it
Yeah.
for a couple of months of just pushing
I
the
guess
Switch.
because Zelda's
and
such a big game, they were like, we'll leave these guys to it for a while.
Yeah, because
and
it's
then
such
we'll
a huge
introduce
game
a
as
light-hearted
well.
game. Coffee break.
just gonna leave an awkward pause.
Let's have a coffee.
Just drinking a coffee at the moment. So finally, then, if we now move on to Prey, which we haven't played.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Neither of us have actually played it.
You can edit that out.
We spoke about potentially getting it to play.
I think we mentioned it before.
I think maybe in the last game chat video we spoke about it.
Maybe. We obviously haven't played it.
I initially thought that it was going to be very similar to Dead Space.
That's what I thought. It would be a horror game that was creepy and I'd be terrible at it because I didn't want to go through the door. I figured it would be that sort of game.
But after not getting it, we watched the first...
Yeah, we waited.
Well, we saw
and
like
then
best bits types of videos on YouTube.
We watched like the first 20 minutes or like the highlights of the first 20 minutes video. I can't think what video it was. And it's nothing like I thought it would be. Usually I try to stay away from videos if I'm gonna play them, but I thought, oh well, I haven't bought it. Let's see what it's
all about.
And I was just like, really? Is this what it is? Because you can morph into objects to try and like. So if you needed to get into a room and there was a little hatch, you could morph into a coffee cup and then roll in.
Which is a very strange...
I was thinking, like, is this the same game that I thought it was?
Yeah, because I thought it was just going to be, like, aliens jumping out and you're going to be having big laser guns and slicing aliens in half.
And it's almost like shadows, like the alien... Well, the little bit I saw, we didn't see very much, but it was almost like a shadowy things that you're fighting, the aliens. And, the watching how people play it, you have, like, I think it's a glue gun, where you can stop, like... I don't know, is it hot air, like steam bursting out so you can to clear a path, or a glue gun that you can build your own stairs to get up to one level?
A lot more complicated and puzzle based than
really in depth.
First thought. I thought it was just going to be, you're in this spaceship, aliens are going to be coming at you, chop them, slice them with all these cool sci-fi weapons. I don't know why I thought that.
No,
I just assumed because it was like a sci-fi horror survival type game.
Yeah.
But then after seeing those types of videos, I've now gone, okay, it looks very different than what we first initially thought.
I would like to play it, but I think I would get so mad. Because I have seen on my Twitter feed some people I follow do have it. And the amount of statuses I see saying, I'm stuck at this point in Prey. Can someone come on live stream and help me?
I think that's because there is lots of different ways of doing things.
So many ways,
and having that capability to... morph into objects to be a coffee cup and roll under a door and then really come out as a person. Like, you really, really have to think outside of the box because I remember seeing one bit on a game where I think he turned himself like into a toilet roll and then he shot something which then fired the toilet roll over something so he didn't get detected by, it's like all these weird, crazy things, which is, again, it's a very, very cool concept that you now don't just have to play these straightforward types of games. You have to turn yourself into this to avoid detection.
It's a very clever game. I didn't think it would be that clever. I think it will also be a very frustrating game.
Yeah.
But it's made me more likely to want to buy it.
Okay. Whereas it would probably be the opposite for me, where I would like to have played it because it was this like horror survival game where you're literally just going down scary corridors, kind of like Dead Space.
I've still not got over Resident Evil. I don't think I can handle another horror game. But I think it's one of those that I'm obviously not going to buy on launch, and I'm not going to buy it anytime soon because of this game. But it is probably a game that I will pick up when the price goes down a bit, because I don't know if I will enjoy it because of the type of puzzles. I normally like puzzle games, but I don't know if I'm going to like the combination of like shooting and puzzle. I think my brain might have a meltdown.
And the things look like spiders.
And they look like spiders, and I hate spiders, so that's another reason why I might just be like, no, not playing this anymore. But it does it really interesting, and it's so strange how you have this perception of a game and you don't quite know where that perception came from, and then when you see the gameplay you're like, did I get the wrong game? Like,
it's exactly the same as this though. Like, I had a perception of this game, and after playing it, it's really switched it, and now it's like, oh wow, it's completely different from what I first thought. It's just weird how you build those perceptions in your brain prior.
And I think it's because we don't normally watch the trailers. We're very much trying to stay. So I guess our preconceptions are just made in our head. We see a bit of
you just hear a
publicity.
name or something.
Yeah.
See a cover. Yeah, it's kind of mad.
Maybe we should watch more trailers.
I think the question I'm now going to leave you guys is horror games. Okay, we've been asked a lot lately to play Outlast 2.
I don't know how I feel about this. Again, I haven't really seen anything of it.
Kind of mixed reviews and stuff. Is Outlast 2 on your radar? Is it
any good? Have you played it? Was it scary?
I've heard it's a bit of a cash grab for DLC and stuff. You know, what's your thoughts on Outlast 2? What's your thoughts on any of the games we've spoke about so far today? What games are you digging at the moment? Just let us know stuff in the comments down below. What other games do you want us to kind of talk about in the next game chat video?
Because otherwise we'll keep talking about this, because it's all about this currently.
It actually probably will be.
Next week it'll be an update of what just happened.
One thing, going back to this game very slightly, is the art design is very, very cool. The one thing which confused me a lot is like this dude down here. I don't know if it was definitely him, but there was one section when we ran around the corner and this big robot bent over and he
pooped out other robots.
He was pooing out little robots who'd come and attack us.
There's lots of really random. It's random.
I was like, what on earth is going on here? But it's cool. I like it. It's just the art direction, the style was very, very cool. This game. But anyway, enough of that game. Enough of us talking today. Thank you for hanging out again.
Thank you for listening to us just ramble about games.
Yeah. And if you ever want to come over and hang out with us live, twitch.tv/Barbster360. That is where we do.
Then you can watch us live ramble about games.
Playing that game, no doubt. All links are in the description down below for socials and stuff if you do want to follow us. If you're not already, like I said just now, comment down below any games you might want us to talk about or what games you're digging at the moment. Outlast 2, yes or no. Hopefully you enjoyed our little intro music at the beginning of this video.
And it's good to get bang into this. I feel like I'm a bit rusty today and my brain isn't working.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week's will be more smooth and I won't falsely advertise the game as aliens when it's robots.
So with all that being said, thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you soon. Goodbye.